What's up, everybody? Baby Huey here for 107.7 The Bone, and I'm excited that WWE is coming back to the Bay Area. Monday Night Raw will be at the SAP Center in San Jose Monday, January 13th, and tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. And joining me to talk all about it is WWE Superstar Kofi Kingston. How's it going, man?
It's going fantastically well. Never better. Life is good. Here we are.
Oh my God, what a week. I'm so excited to be talking to you. Obviously, we saw what happened on Monday Night Raw this week. We've had a few days to process everything as fans. So first question, Kofi, why Kofi? Why? Why you and Xavier Woods turn on Big E?
Hey man, look, we tell it how it is. It's crazy because there's been such a fan reaction, and a lot of people are really, really angry. And one of the telltale signs that you know that you're right is when we said nothing but facts. You know, People might not have liked what they heard or what came out of our mouths, but it was completely factual. There was not a lie told, not a single lie told, not an exaggeration or anything. And the response has been, oh, F you, oh, you're bird chest, oh, there are all these unsubstantiated responses. They have no substance whatsoever, and it just confirms the fact that we were right. You know what I mean? To say what we said and to feel how we felt. And we are the ones who are in the situation. And as much as everybody wants to have an opinion or whatever, it doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? I understand that people are upset. They're distraught. They wanted to see us in a certain light for the end of time or, for an amount of time. So what? You know what I'm saying? Who cares? Who cares? It's all good.
Yeah, well, okay. And, as a longtime fan of you and the New Day, yes, us fans, it's a little tough to process right now what we just saw on Raw this week. So I do got to ask, though, about the timing of all this, why this character change now? Do you think the direction of the New Day before this past Monday Night Raw had ran its course? And do you felt like a character change was needed?
Yeah, I don't really know what's needed or what's not. All that is what happens, right? Everything. I've always been a big advocate of everything happening for a reason, and everything happens exactly the way it's supposed to, when it's supposed to. You might not know what that reason is at the time. But you look back and you realize that oh, this is why this happened. This is why that happened. And it had to happen a certain way. I don't know that there was a big plan to okay, we're going to do this on this day. I think what you kind of saw unfold between me and Woods, especially over the past few months, there was a lot of tension. Yeah. There's been a lot of miscommunications, which we've never had in the past 10 years. And you asked why now? The question is why now? Why did E finally decide to show up on TV? You know what I mean? Why now? Why didn't he come when we were starting to butt heads initially? It's not like he hasn't been on television. It's not like he hasn't been on those pre-shows on the PLEs. He's had the ability to do it. So why wait till we're at the breaking point? Why not try to be a mediator when things are starting to go off the rails? You know what I mean? So that question can be asked to everybody.
Yeah, well, with that being said, looking ahead to the future, I'm guessing we'll see how this plays out over the coming weeks and months. But if you're able to elaborate or explain, what is next for you and Xavier Woods? Are you guys still going to go by the New Day name? Are you going to get new ring gear, new presentation? What can kind of fans expect for you guys?
Yeah, I think that's the beautiful thing about Raw. That you tune in and you never know what you're going to see, as has been shown last, Raw with us, as has been shown throughout the entire year, really since WrestleMania and before that. You know what I mean? You never know what you're going to see. And I think that's what the great thing about Monday Night Raw is that when you tune in, you know that you're going to be entertained. This is a really, really special time in wrestling right now. They keep saying oh, this is kind of like the Attitude Era, but we're inventing our own era right now. And the numbers now are even surpassing what the Attitude Era numbers were. So this, I was going to say arguably, but inarguably, is the best time to be a wrestling fan right now. So long-winded way to answer your question, but you got to tune in to Raw to find out what happens next.
Okay, well, one little follow-up with that. Are you guys going to continue as a tag team, or will you guys individually go on singles runs now?
That's all part of it. Tune in to Monday Night Raw to find out. You know?
Okay, all right.
I know you're trying to get the scoop. I know you're out here trying to get the scoop. You know,
I know,
but,
man. I'm trying, man. I'm digging. But
no, it's all good, man.
So listen, though, exciting time right now as a fan. You and I are around the same age. As you said, like the Attitude Era arguably was the biggest era for pro wrestling. But this time now, you can say it might be bigger with, the attendance and ticket sales, merch sales, all that stuff. The next big phase for WWE is come January 6th. You guys, Monday Night Raw will start streaming on Netflix. I saw the big event.
You see the red and white. You see the red and white here. You know, I didn't even realize that, but that's just, that's just the way it goes. Didn't even mean to do that.
Yeah, well, look at, man, perfect company, man, right there. But let's talk about that, though. I saw the big event. There was like a press event for Netflix earlier this week with a bunch of WWE superstars, Triple H, Khan, all that stuff. So for you, what is your outlook of WWE switching over Monday Night Raw to Netflix, and what are your expectations? And I guess, what are you looking forward to about going over to a streaming platform?
Man, I'm looking forward to it. Everybody on the roster is looking forward to it. It really is a monumental deal. The fact that we are like this first, foray of sports being on Netflix, and granted, yes, we're sports entertainment, so there's a little bit of a mix in there. But I think that this is, and Triple H has said it too, that this is going to be, looked back at as one of the most historic time periods ever. Riding the momentum that I was talking about before, being that the shows are sold out, we can't even get comp tickets for our friends really anymore, which is a great thing. But riding that momentum into Netflix is huge, man. It's going to be amazing. We all know how big of a reach Netflix has. We all know how big of a fan base WWE has. So when you combine those two forces, it's just going to be amazing. And we're all really, really excited about it. And it's coming up, man. It's coming up quickly. So it's going to be dope.
Yeah, listen, you've been with WWE for a long time. So much to talk about. One thing in particular, I'm forever grateful I got to experience. I was there in attendance for KofiMania, your big win in New York. What an amazing event and experience. Long day, but very much well worth it to see you win your WWE Championship. I'm just curious, though. We all know what happened. You were a last-minute addition, a substitute for Elimination Chamber, and then this whole KofiMania storyline played out. Amazing. Right. Amazing experience. Do you know what your original plans were for WrestleMania that year?
Oh, I don't think I was even booked. I don't think my plans are being talked about for WrestleMania. There's so much going on there with regard to like the WWE title, the World Heavyweight Championship, that a lot of times, I don't want to say like other storylines fall to the wayside, but at that time we didn't even really have anything going on. We didn't have a rivalry, we didn't have a feud, we didn't have a storyline, we didn't really have much of anything going on. It was just the New Day being the New Day. I'm sure we would have been on there in some way, shape, or form, some capacity. That's what we bring to the table, is being able to be this like Swiss Army knife type group that we can do anything. We can host, we can wrestle, we can sell merch, you know what I mean? We can go out there and just be entertaining. So we take a lot of pride in being like the Swiss Army knife of the WWE. But with regard to your question, I don't really know what the plan was. I don't think it was anything nearly as big as WrestleMania main event, WWE Championship for sure. And even with that too, because I think originally, like our feud, me and Daniel Bryan was supposed to stop at Fastlane was right before that, I believe, right? Was it Fastlane?
So, yeah.
Whatever the pay-per-view was before Mania, or in between like Elimination Chamber and Mania. I think that was supposed to be like the culmination of whatever. But being that it was such a huge crowd reaction and people were like demanding that I be in that main event, that's what the direction that the company went. And I'm always grateful for that, because that's not always the case. There have been a lot of times where the people have wanted something and for whatever reason, like they don't receive that. We don't give that to them. So, very, very fortunate to have been on the receiving end of that whole deal. It was just such an amazing energy that was felt. Not that everything is Dragon Ball, but the spirit bomb of the people, right? Like getting the energy of the people to be, to catapult me into that role. I'll always be grateful for that.
Well, let's talk about it. You mentioned his name, Daniel Bryan, your opponent that you won the title from. For all fans, who keep track of all wrestling around the world, what's going on. recently he announced he's stepping away from full-time in-ring competition. Just, with that being said, what did it mean for you to work with him and to get the title off him and for you to have that program with him and, what his contributions to the pro wrestling world as well?
Yeah, Daniel Bryan, I think, is one of the greatest. He's got to be like the top 5 of all time for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah.
Just his resiliency. He's a guy who broke his neck and came back when nobody told him, you know what I mean? When people said that he wasn't going to be able to do it. You have to admire someone that can do that, And on top of that, too, like, he's somebody who doesn't really seek any credit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he does a lot of things. He had a lot to do with why I was even in that position. I know he had gone to bat for me to be in that position because that's what the people wanted. So I know he was a very big advocate of that, and he'll never tell you that. He'll never brag about that because that's not what his purpose in doing that was. It was just about doing the right thing, and I'm always grateful for that. And then on top of that, from a storyline perspective, the fact that he was in the same shoes that I was in a couple years ago when the corporate mega heads were telling him that he wasn't good enough, that he wasn't, he was a B+ player. And now he's on the other side as the champion saying all those dastardly things to me, you know? So from a storyline perspective, it just like when you're able to complete a circle like that, or when you're able to have continuity in that way in terms of, and you see it unfold in front of your eyes in a WWE ring, it's just beautiful. That's what wrestling is all about, man. Those stories that continue through different generations. And I know we're not different generations per se, but different eras, the Daniel Bryan Yes era, the Yes movement to the KofiMania movement. It was like a seamless handoff. I couldn't have had a better opponent than him. He's amazing in the ring, super smooth, and a high-class performer, stand-up guy. Like I said, very, very resilient, though, coming back from a neck injury and being able to, go out there and still do it. And now for him to walk away, he's earned it.
Yeah, Kofi, listen, I know we're running short on time. There's so many different questions I can ask and get into from your amazing career. I do want to ask, though, what do you want the New Day legacy at this point? You guys celebrate 10 years this past week on Raw.
Yeah.
But what do you want the fans, the WWE Universe, to remember the New Day legacy? And just real quick, also, was there anything you guys want to accomplish but haven't done yet?
Man, I think right now, so we are the greatest tag team to ever do this, sometimes you're supposed to be like humble and, dance around it. But if you look at our accolades, man, we just had this shirt come out for the 10-year anniversary and had not even all of our accolades, but we filled the back of the shirt with the accolades that we have achieved, all the members of the group and all that we have, done and titles that we've won and crowns that we've won. It's unmatched being able to host WrestleMania, being able to go toe-to-toe with The Rock on the mic, and hold our own. Not many people in the world can do that. Not many people can say that they've done that, I could go on and on. 12, 13 times tag team champions, like that in and of itself, longest reigning tag team champions at one point. Yep. If I'm being honest, I don't really care about what the fans remember about us because I already know. I already know what we are. You know what I'm saying? So you can't argue with the facts. And when it's all said and done, New Day is going to go down as the greatest tag team of all time. So for us right now, we're just trying to add on to that legacy. We're never full. We always stay hungry and we keep on piling these accolades on until we decide that we don't want to do it anymore, which won't be anytime soon.
Right on, Kofi. Listen, I know you got to go. Busy press day for you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for everything you've done for the business. So I encourage everyone, get your tickets for Monday Night Raw when it comes to the SAP Center in San Jose, Monday, January 13th. Those are over at Ticketmaster.com. Do want to shout out Monday Night Raw will be on Netflix starting January 6th. Also, Saturday night's main event will be on NBC Saturday, December 14th. And of course, WrestleMania 41 will be at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, April 19th and 20th. I know a lot of people from the Bay Area, Northern California are going to make the trip down there. Cannot wait. Tickets for all those shows, Ticketmaster.com. Kofi, thank you so much for your time, and I hope we can continue this conversation in person very soon.
Of course. I'll see you down the line, man. Always a pleasure to talk.
Thank you so much, man. Good luck.
Thanks.
Cool. Bye-bye.